Hey guys, what is up? So Gabbie Hanna came out with the first episode of her series where she exposes everyone, and I did say I was going to be covering the whole entire series, so I will have a playlist for Gabbie Hanna stuff. Anyways, her first episode is about Trisha Paytas. The likes and dislikes are turned off. A lot of people were questioning how come she didn't talk about Jessie Smiles first, but in my opinion, I think she started with Trisha Paytas because everyone's on the I don't like Trisha Paytas is canceled right now train because she quit Frenemies. So I think that's why this was the first video that was released. So Gabbie starts this video with Trisha Paytas loves to tell the world that we've never met and that I'm just a stalker and blah blah blah, you know, the same things that she's been spieling for like ever. But what I've come to realize towards the end of this video, that in this video, I'm not talking about with Jessie Smiles, I'm not talking about with anyone else, but I'm talking about with Gabbie Hanna and Trisha Paytas, this was actually a win for Gabbie Hanna. Let me explain. Now, January 22nd of 2021 this year, Trisha Paytas went onto Gabbie Hanna's podcast, and Trisha Paytas kept saying, look, Gabbie, we were never really friends. And in the video, Gabbie pulls up this text message, and I was like, Gabbie, what are you talking about? This clearly shows that Trisha wanted you to leave her alone. So when Gabbie pulled up this text message, I was like, this isn't saving Gabbie. So what is she doing? Actually, this text message hurts Gabbie. But then Gabbie brought up the fact that Trisha and her bonded over talking about poetry through text messages. And there was one point to where Gabbie wanted to send Trisha her poetry book, right? For PR. And Trisha never responded to the text when Gabbie was like, hey, what's your address so I can send you my poetry book, right? But then Gabbie plays this video.
Joey sent me this awesome package. I don't, like, when people ask me for my address, like, I never give people my address. Well, obviously he knows mine because obviously he's been here, but like other YouTubers, if I'm not close with or I'm not your friend, like, I'm not about to like give you just, you know, what's your address? I can send you a fucking book so you can promote me. No.
So after watching that video, Gabbie texts Trisha and was like, hey, I hope you weren't talking about me because, you know, I wanted to send you my poetry book, not for you to promote, but we were bonding over poetry. You were telling me how you like writing poetry and I was talking to you about how I did. So it wasn't for you to promote my poetry book. I just hope you weren't talking to me because you never really answered my text when I asked you to send me your address. Trisha claims that this was not about Gabbie, but if you ask me, in my opinion, this was definitely about Gabbie Hanna. Trisha loves to do this thing to where she can talk about someone publicly and not say their name so that she can get away with saying, no, I wasn't talking about you. She literally loves to do that shit. And I hands down believe that Trisha Paytas was talking about Gabbie Hanna in that video. So far in this video, I'm sitting here like, you know, I'm not really sold. So what? Who cares if they were really friends or not? I wasn't really sold. But then Trisha starts talking about how, look, like, Gabbie, I only met you once. And Gabbie's like, no, that's not true. And Trisha's like, look, I met you once at like my birthday party and that was it, Gabbie. And even then that was just for like 40 seconds. And then Gabbie goes, no, we met at Joey's birthday party. Definitely pause this video if you want, but these were receipts to where Trisha really opened up to Gabbie and was like, look, you know, at Joey's birthday party, I felt like a loner and I just, you know, no one really talked to me. The only time people really talk to me is when Shane is around. And keep in mind, this was 2017. So at the time, Gabbie was friends with Liza, because even Gabbie mentions in the text message, oh, I was talking to Liza, we wanted to meet you, you know, things like that. So you know this party that Trisha had no recollection of. Let's just play the clip real quick.
No, we met a couple times.
When else?
And we texted a lot.
Name one other time we met besides my birthday
I
party.
don't want to say it online. We'll talk about it off. Because
just say it right now and cut it
but
out.
Like, you went on to like, okay, I probably will, but like at Joey's surprise party. Like, we met there. And
so yeah, that party that Trisha did not remember meeting Gabbie at. 5 minutes and 12 seconds into this video, Gabbie starts playing the voice memos that Trisha sent Gabbie talking about the damn party. Take a listen.
Well, like I said, the ignoring thing was more of just the vibes I've got, especially off that party. I was like, okay, I mean, you were the only one, and Ricky are the only two that I actually like talk and have like a relationship with. So I thought I would just, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like when I'm at parties and I have like a relationship with somebody, like a previous that was like, you know, I mean, on that note, like if we're being like 100% honest, like yeah, I totally did feel ignored and kind of like big times by you a little bit at the party, and like in person in general, like, you know what I mean, like at my birthday and stuff like that. So it's not. I mean, I don't know. I guess we both just feel our feelings got her. I don't know.
So Trisha admits that she big time spited GABBIE Hanna at this party. So Trisha was a liar. Now one may argue that just because Trisha texts GABBIE all of these messages, that doesn't necessarily make them friends. And that's true. You know, the SpongeBob song, F is for friends who do stuff together. Trisha and GABBIE never did anything together. They met at events. You know, maybe Trisha views a friend as something to where they can go out to eat together. They can actually hang out, just the two of them, one-on-one together. And it's very clear these two never did that. They just had like a, you know, a texting relationship and like an acquaintance, like when you meet someone at a party, hey, how's life going? That type of thing. I think it's worth mentioning that GABBIE says after Joey's party, you know, Trisha ended up going on Shane's podcast and talking all this shit about GABBIE Hanna to Shane, and then Shane went ahead and basically related that message back to GABBIE and this guy, Ricky. Now, I'm not the hugest fan of GABBIE Hanna, but I can see how it can be super frustrating to hear Trisha say, you know, I've only met GABBIE once. I don't even know what she's talking about. And it was very clear that there was a stream of conversations with these two people. So GABBIE says after Joey's party, I guess Trisha uploaded this private video about a private relationship, and GABBIE asked Trisha to take it down. But GABBIE says Trisha stopped talking to her after GABBIE confronted her about the whole book thing, about how Trisha said, oh my goodness, GABBIE, I wasn't talking about you when I made that video about not giving out YouTubers my address, which she clearly was. But GABBIE says that was the conversation that really ended their friendship. Shortly after that, when GABBIE found out that Trisha was dating Jason Nash, you know, we all know how that story ended, how GABBIE felt like it was her responsibility to text Jason and be like, hey, just to let you know, Trisha has herpes. And that did not end very well, you know. And that, who was GABBIE to even say that? But apparently GABBIE heard that from Shane. So then Trisha goes on to say how GABBIE, we were never friends, you know, kind of repetitive at this point. They go back and forth basically. And then GABBIE starts reading off these tweets.
On November 22nd, 2016, buying a VIP ticket to your show, yes, yes, yes. November 19, 2016, my obsession with the GABBIE show has been so unreal. I don't even understand. She's the most amazing thing on YouTube right now. And then May 10th, 2017, every time me and the GABBIE show are together, we never get selfies. It makes me extremely depressed.
Guys, Trisha's response is that, GABBIE, you're delusional. And then 16 minutes into the video, they start to bicker back and forth again. How GABBIE was telling Trisha, you're gaslighting me, because Trisha said, you know, GABBIE, I'm in your home, so I'm going to try to be respectful and not really say much because I'm in your home. That's just the gist of what Trisha was saying. And GABBIE was like, you're gaslighting me. And I'm like, okay. The video ends to where they bicker back and forth whether Trisha was gaslighting GABBIE or not. But then GABBIE's like, hey, let's end this on a positive note. They took a break. They came back. They were all smiles, at least on the outside they were. Pretty much like being phony just to fake it for the camera. And at the end of this video, what I really loved is that GABBIE said that on June 23rd, that's when the next series is supposed to come out. So she gave us a heads up when to watch, June 23rd. And it's called like Storytime, whatever. Look, in my opinion, this was a win for GABBIE Hanna, at least with Trisha Paytas. I'm not talking about all the other people. I'm just talking about this video. This was a win because Trisha Paytas is a damn liar. And one more thing I like to add for the people who are like, you know, I think it's crazy for GABBIE to have kept all this for so long, holding receipts on everyone just in case. And I agree with them to a point, but now after watching this video, I can see how frustrating it might have been for GABBIE Hanna. I really can, just because when you see all of these conversations and when you hear Trisha Paytas sending GABBIE Hanna these voice memos of proof that GABBIE was right in what she was saying, you do have to question, okay, I can see how that would piss a bitch off, you know? So yeah, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.